Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Piofiore. And we got Dante's good ending, happy ending, best ending, in the last part. So we are going to go through and get his good ending, which is the normal ending, so it probably won't be that great, because you know how games like to do this. It's the normal ending! Everyone dies. I don't know what's... What? His bad end, well, his tragic ending, and then his two bad endings. So we got 4 endings to get today, and then we will do his after story, like the little side piece that we're supposed to get. Okay, so good normal ending. So go to chapters. Chapter 8, good. Okay, with affinity low and respect low. Oh, I don't like doing this. Yes. All right, and then we skip through shit. So. I think this is my skip. Well, now we test our skip. That's not working. I guess we gotta... Okay, good. Okay, perfect. I love that. I just like how it, Do I have to read the Meanwhile story? I guess we do. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like... It just kind of... I did set that. I did set in the Meanwhile story to stop instead of just ignoring it. I don't think they're any different, but... So it's fine. It's a minor inconvenience, because it's not like... It's not like we gotta skip through the whole goddamn game and skip through all of those. We're skipping through parts here and there. So... I mean, I guess we could technically ignore it, but... I could see that in the settings, too, because... Oh, right. Oh, we can skip them? How do I skip them? I guess we just ignore them. I just saw, like, I just looked at the guide and said, skip the stories. I guess it doesn't matter. I didn't even think about that. Just click again and just, duh. Kind of, okay, look. Look, it's the first time we're going through other endings in this, okay? And that's the first time I've ever had a game that does that kind of system. I do like it. I mean, I can see where it is odd because sometimes it pops up in a weird place and you're like, okay, well, wait, do I click one? Because sometimes you only have like 1 or 2 clicks before the scene changes and then you got to go back because you might miss it. And they could absolutely have just done it in between. So this scene ends, they go to the Meanwhile story, and then they come back. But this is just a little more interactive, and I don't know. Like, I like it. So, oh, interesting. Oh, there's a lot of Meanwhile stories in Chapter 9. And that's a different title, I think. Hold on a second. This is the same... Oh, sorry. Hold on. Yes, Chapter 8 is the same one, and but Chapter 9, there's only one Meanwhile story that we saw in the good ending. Chapter 9 has a bazillion. Oh, we're going to be looking at a lot of Meanwhile stories in our good ending. Interesting. Cool, cool. Anyway, hold it right there. Oops, I want to leave that on. Whoop. Okay. Huh? You were looking for me, right? I'm Dante Falzone.
Sure, whatever. I didn't come to Falche for sightseeing. I came here to kill you. Now die, Falzone.
It'll be you who dies, Lawn. Dante drew his gun as Lawn laughed madly. Then she charged at him. The fear of losing Dante. I had to keep myself from screaming as I watched on. But then, I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. Who are you? Shit! Put down! A man snuck up from behind, attempting to capture me. Well, you didn't do a good job sneaking because I heard you coming, bitch. He had hidden from us using Lawn as a distraction. Interesting. Space, duck! Dante's bullet pierced the louse shoe's head as he fell backwards onto the ground. His blood and brains splattered across the ground, and I mustered the strength to look up at Dante. Oh! That's crap. Okay, thanks.
Got you! So nice of you to keep your eyes on the girl, Dante Falzone!
Shit! Dante twisted his body to dodge Lawn's blow. I didn't shriek good enough, sorry. Dante kicked Lawn away to create distance. His powerful kick sent the young girl flying back, but she fell into one of the bystanders who hadn't made his escape. Oops. Ugh! Lawn's weapon mercilessly plunged through the young man's body. Ouch. Uh-oh. That's not good for him.
Ouch! Get out of my way, will ya?
Lawn angrily kicked the man, then pulled her weapon from his body. The young man lay on the ground with blood seeping out of his body.
Yikes!
Lawn jumped to the side to avoid the bullet. She then let out an irritated laugh.
Well, that was rude, as expected of the Falzone. Coward!
Say what you will.
It's my turn now. I'll end this.
She closed in and swung her blade toward his neck. Right back at you. Dante braced himself at her charge. Why is he standing still? He stood his ground, staring at Lawn. Then he pulled the trigger just as her blade was about to connect. Maybe she wasn't expecting it. The bullet struck Lawn at close range and blew her back from the impact. The incoming blade flew away from Dante.
Sorry. Hey.
And just like that, her body was still. At the sight of her dead body, I came to my senses and ran to the injured young man. Yikes. I can't stop his bleeding. She impaled him with a spear. Dante and I tried our best to save him, but it was all over. Well, that skipped really fast. With what just happened, we rushed back to the hotel without saying a single word. Oh, this keeps... Okay. Dante... I could tell Dante was putting up a front. He couldn't hide his disappointment. I guess the thing, and then coming back to the hotel, that was what you... That was the same as you previously read, so it just auto-skipped it. Sometimes I like that. Like, I like it... Like, if there's, like, 4 or 5 lines that we read, just kind of skip them. But at the same time... Because sometimes you're like, we've read this before, and it's 5 minutes. But, like, if it's 1 line, just leave it in. Don't skip it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy you're safe, but... Dante was vexed over the fact that his decision cost the life of a civilian. He wouldn't express his sorrow, but he would probably continue to live on in repentance. God, I don't know why I couldn't read that. There was nothing I could say to console him, and the night quietly shrouded us. Well, we did not get frisky. So, the day after we came back from the church, Leo came to deliver us a stack of books. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to get, so I just asked the sisters there to help. They gathered a lot of books about the different miracles of the church. This is great. Thank you, Leo. As Dante said, it was best that we avoid spending too much time at the church. I'm just going to leave it as skipping in case we get to stuff that we've already done. I don't know. We were able to continue our search now with Leo's help. Actually, I don't think we'll be able to because this is a totally different chapter. Just a lot of that anyway. Sister Sophia said not to push ourselves too hard. She also mentioned she'd see if there was anything else to share. Oh, and here's some panini from Julia. Oh, thank you so much. While the hotel's room service was top-notch, Julia's cooking was what I really wanted. Good work, Leo. If there's anything else you need, please let me know. I can have more books prepared. Leo gave a bright smile and then quickly left the hotel to tend to his other duties. Such a good boy. I love him so much. I sifted through the stacks of old tomes with Dante. Honestly, maybe we won't get through it all this time. I kind of thought we would. I figured this would be just like kind of maybe a normal length part, but like maybe like 45 minutes-ish. You know what I mean? I was like, it won't be too long. But we have a lot of side stories to read, like a lot, and it's a whole separate chapter. So, I mean, who knows? It could be, this alone could be 30 minutes, but we'll see. I hope there's something in here that we can use. This is how to make delicious pasta. This has nothing to do with the miracle. I wouldn't be surprised if some other books got slipped in inadvertently. Oh look! This one is Pinocchio. I haven't read this in ages. You brought me a copy back. You brought me a copy back at the manor, remember? I don't remember. Oh, he's blushing. Dante blushed, looking down and away from me as he tossed the cookbook onto the floor. We didn't confess our love to each other, technically. Because, wasn't that in chapter 8? We came back from that night, no. We might have love that. We confessed our feelings before. You know, after fighting Lawn, that's got all frisky. So we just didn't get frisky. That's why Mark is still here and we're searching. So anyway. At the time, I didn't know what you would have liked to read. All I did was gather as many different books I could. And not just books. I didn't know what you really needed or... Dante looked up, smiled shyly. Because, he loves us in this. We just haven't sealed the deal, you know? The Falzone family watched over you while you were still living at the church. Even then, I didn't know what you liked or what would make you happy. Hearing Dante speak honestly with me like this filled me with such emotion. It's not what you gave me, it's the thought that counted, Dante. It made me feel better to see you care for me, especially with the way things were back then. Of course, there are things I'm worried about now, but I think things are different from before. Dante looked straight at me. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. I think I feel the same way. You're here next to me, which is why I can continue to move forward. Dante, being able to hear his thoughts like this made me so happy. It showed how much trust we placed in each other, how much we believed in each other. Space. The warmth of his hand on mine filled my heart. Lie! That sounds so terrible that that's the name of the one right as we're sitting right here. Hold on. No, Nicola was lying to us. You shady bastard, you lied to us. We thought you betrayed us, and we're like, you shady bitch. And you were just being a shadier shady bitch. I still love him. I don't care if he betrayed us for realsies. I was like, I still adore him.
What you doing? I see you. What, you can play over there. I don't care. Hi. Cuties.
Silly bird. Anyway. I let out a sigh reading the morning paper that was delivered to the Visconti. Unbelievable. I frowned. And there were articles written containing allegations against the Falzone over a number of incidents. Gambling, theft, fraud, rape? All of these were a stain on our family's pride. The Falzone... Dante would never do such things. Yang, on the other hand, I'm just saying. I threw the newspaper onto the table with frustration. Lies! Okay, we're at Yang's. I squinted as I swirled the shocks. Shousing? Is it shousing? Because the X doesn't sound like an X. Anyway. Wine in my glass. Faye and now Lawn. Allow shoes losing members like the teeth of a broken comb. Being in a tight spot like this isn't so bad. I tire of easy battles. I looked at my empty glass and sighed. Having them around was bothersome, but without them it was too quiet. It's like, that's Yang's version of how dare he kill my family? He's like, they fucking sucked, but I kind of miss them a little. He's such a bastard. But I love him. I should hate him. We should be like, what a fucking prick. But we're like, but he's hot. Anyway. Although I would eventually let go, I wanted to appreciate the sight of him in front of me now. The time we spent together was invaluable to me. A few days passed as we searched through the church's books for clues, and still we hadn't found anything of use. The Falzone would never do things like this! Dante threw the newspaper Leo brought down on the table in anger. I couldn't find the right words to console him. The newspaper was continuing to write derogatory articles about the Falzone. The family was being falsely accused of a multitude of crimes in the region. I do like the detail that they're putting into, the good ending versus, you know what I mean? A lot of games, the chapters are the same and then the ending's kind of different, or there might be slight choice differences, but for the most part, it's not a whole entire different, the ending is relatively short. This is kind of a lot of content for just a different, here's the beautiful happy ending where we live happily ever after, and then everything would be exactly the same except for like, oh yeah, no, you make one choice and it's like, oh, I almost died, and then we bring him to the hospital and he's fine, and then that's it, and you don't get the little after story. You know what I mean? It's almost basically the same sometimes. I like that this has a lot more depth and is its own. So if you got this, you'd be like, oh, okay, like you wouldn't know any different. I mean, obviously, and sometimes the bad endings are going to be like, oh, whoops, got in the way, got shot. Okay. Bad endings are usually shorter because there's more of them, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, this just feels like it has more meat to it for a normal kind of ending, but...
Even the old lady who used to say hi to me frowns whenever I come around.
That's mean! How... I know he's part of a family you don't like, but, like, it's Leo. How do you're like, I hate the family you work for, but you're so sweet, Leo.
Yeah, some are even posting clothes signs the moment they see me.
Aww. Leo's such a good boy. Leo had been bringing us newspapers and goods since the beginning, but I'd never seen him this sad before. Oh, this hurts. This hurts more than Orlok dying in the fucking good ending. Jesus. Oh, poor Leo.
I didn't mean to imply anything. I'm sorry, it's just that...
What? Is there something else? I love his big sad saucer eyes.
Nicola, he may be up to something.
Nicola?
It seems he's approached some of our men who don't know about his betrayal. I'm guessing he's trying to find out what's going on with us. He was a pillar in our family. If the others find out that he betrayed us, things might go from bad to worse.
He's actually, and that's so funny because now we know that he's just trying to find out because he's like, I don't like what people are doing to my family. Like, aww. Nicola's actually a shady good boy. Look, I know that they all have imperfections, you know? We're supposed to not, but like, why in the world? And I know like Dante and other routes isn't going to be the precious little marshmallow we know, but he's a marshmallow because we love him, but still, you know what I mean? Like, unless he actually, like, tortures us, I'm probably going to be like, nah, I still like him. He's like, you got to accept some violence if you're dating mafia boys, is all I'm saying, right? Yang's going to be the one that's going to really question my sanity when I'm like, look, I know he's doing these awful things to me, but I still love him. I should book a therapist appointment before I go down Yang's. Why are you here? Because I'm about to go down a route in an Atome game that's going to make me question my sanity. Like, he's gonna torture me and abuse me and assault me, and I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm concerned for myself. Obviously, I wouldn't put up with that in real life, but it's a game, it's different. We signed up for it. Oh, God. Anyway.
I know you want to keep this secret, boss, but I don't know how long it can last.
Yes, niece. Understood. Let me think about it.
Thank you. Then I better get going.
Leo bowed his head a bit reluctantly before leaving the room. Dante, he hasn't told everyone about Nicola's betrayal. Dante, how about a cup of coffee? Sure, thanks. Dante wasn't speaking much. It seemed like he was in pain. Of course he was in pain. Why wouldn't he be? Extra parentheses there. Once Dante announced Nicola's betrayal, Nicola would never be able to step foot into the Falzone Manor again. Nicola would lose the place he called home. That could be sort of bad, considering the fact that he didn't betray us. Dante must still believe in him. He wants to believe in him. Even if he did have to remove Nicola from the family, given their relationship, the decision couldn't possibly be made lightly. I'd better not say too much about it. After serving Dante some coffee, I began combing through the new pile of books Leo brought. Just as the sun was about to set, Dante suddenly spoke my name. This is really, like... What is it, Dante? Did you find something? Leo brought a book from the church that we have back in the manor. You mean like the Pinocchio storybook? Yes, having the same books as the church isn't anything unusual. What is unusual is that the text here is different from what I read at the manor. Different? What do you mean? Most of the content is the same, but I found several sentences that I don't recall ever reading before. You remember everything you've read? It's pretty amazing, Dante. Wouldn't you love that fucking, like, eidetic memory kind of bullshit where you could, like just read and, like, no. So great. Dante looked down at the book and replied somewhat reluctantly. This book is special. It's an almanac that touches on Berlone's local history. The editor is Alberto Falzone. It's a book edited by the 5th head of the Falzone. My father used to tell me to read this book over and over again as a child. I don't remember everything word for word, but I remember most of it, because he's read it so many times. That makes more sense. Dante handed me the book, and I began flipping through its pages, because maybe, was your father thinking that, memorize this book, because someday you're going to find the one that's in the church and things are going to be different and you'll be able to recognize it, instead of being like, yeah, I've read this. I don't think I've ever read this before. It wasn't made available to the general public. Now that he mentioned it, the dimensions of the book seemed different from the normal books you'd find in shops. The church and the Falzone have a shared history, so I understand a copy would be there, but for the content to be different. What's different about it? Most of it's the same except for the last chapter. The last chapter? Yes, the last chapter is about the oracle that delivered a message to this land. And the problem is that only vague lore about the event was written there. It didn't speak of any particular secret from what I can remember. Many who lived in Berlone were at least aware of the oracle. But what's written here is different. You mean the way it's worded is different? Dante nodded in response. It isn't written the way I remember. This version is much more difficult to read. Maybe the one you had was rewritten to be easier to understand? Possibly, but if that's the case, who rewrote? Wow, why can't I say rewrote? Wow. My brain cannot process words today. Rewrote it, and why? Fucking A. I'm having a brain seizure. Meanwhile, story messenger. We've got 4 more, so it's like... Buena Sera. What? How did he get here? How did he get there? I didn't notice until he called out to me. Who is he? That robe. Is he from the church? I feel like Emilio has way more sway in the church than he wants to let on for being like 10. Nice to meet you, Orlok. My name is Emilio. I've heard about you from Joseph. I need to tell you something. Whether or not you believe what I say is up to you. It matters not to me. He's not normal. His presence was unlike anything I'd ever encountered before. He had an aura so divine that, before even realizing it, I was kneeling in front of him. See? I told you. He's more than he seems. He's like, oh, I've been passed down for what? I swear to God, he's thousands of years old. Can we compare the book you read before with this one? Maybe it might reveal something that we're looking for. I suppose. Let's go back to the manor. We should start tracing any possible leads. We decided to end our search for the day and rest in preparation for tomorrow. The following day, we returned to the manor to look for the book we discussed. Hey, wait! Yikes! Carlo! Carlo playfully jumped headfirst into the folds of my skirt. I carefully picked him up into my arms. I'm sorry, he ran away while I was trying to give him a bath. Welcome back. What brings you here today? We're here only briefly to take care of business. You may return to your duties. I'll be going then. Leo extended his hands to me, beckoning Carlo into them. Thank you for taking care of him, Leo. Cats self-bathe, by the way. You don't have to actually, unless he's dirty. You don't really have to wash him. Hey, stop fussing. It's alright. The water will feel good, I promise. Oh God, Leo. And that's how Leo died. By bathing the cat. Look, I love Leo, and if anybody hurts him, I'll take him out. But, if Leo gets himself murdered by a cat because he's trying to bathe the cat, that's on him. Okay, look, Leo, you did it to yourself. Why? What's happening? I continued on my way, confused at what was happening. Suddenly, a young man turned the corner and knocked the groceries out of my arms.
I'm sorry. Are you all right? Oh, yes. Are you okay? I'm fine. The young man picked up the fallen bags. Among them was a white envelope. Grazie, signor. I hurriedly took the envelope and groceries and hurried back to the manor.
That seems like it was done on purpose. Anyway. I smiled, seeing Leo running back to finish giving Carlo a bath. Dante and I looked at each other and nodded before heading into his office. We were in Dante's office, where he unlocked a drawer to reveal an old book. It looks the same. Even the cover is the same. We quickly turned to the last chapter. The content didn't seem much different, but the wording certainly was. It's just as you said, but why on earth would they be different? Dante was thinking in silence. I tried to look for clues in the differences. Dante? Why isn't this book a part of the library here? The fact that it was locked away seems strange to me. Why? I suppose I've never thought about it before. It's been kept here ever since I was a child. My father used to read the book to me, and he'd place it back here after he was done. Come in. The door opened slowly, and in the doorway appeared Julia. For some reason, her complexion was pale. What is it? Did something happen?
Yes, young Dante.
It was unusual for Julia to be acting like this. She spoke in a hesitant way.
I was coming back from the market when I was stopped by the young Nicola.
Nicola?
I didn't have the chance to ask how he was doing. He simply handed me this envelope. He mentioned that you'd be here and to deliver this to you.
Without a word, Dante took the envelope addressed from Nicola.
He was very clear that this envelope must be delivered to you.
Understood. Dante nodded, at which Julia bowed and quietly took her leave. Dante carefully opened the envelope. What? Inside the envelope was a letter and a single card. The card had a number of holes in it. Oh my god, it's like the first fucking programming punch card ever! That's how you used to have to do your programming. Do you believe that shit? That's a strange looking card. Dante held the card in his hand and thought to himself in silence. Wait. I was just thinking this when he's like, wait, and I was like, oh, it's got like holes, so you like, because he said it was worded differently, and I was like, there's some kind of code in the words that are different. That's what it is. Okay. As if something had dawned on him, he turned the card and set it flush against the book so that it lines up and then you read those letters. The card fit the width of the book perfectly. Dante? No, you're going to put it on the page. This is probably the key to breaking the code. Huh? This is a carton grill? It's a method used to read messages using only the letters that can be seen through the holes. Yeah. Dante, well, that makes more sense than, like, the first programming punch cards that they didn't have computers. I obviously knew that wasn't what it was, but that's what it made me think of. Like, until he put it on the book and I was like, oh, I see. Okay, I know what he's doing. Dante quickly turned to a page to see how the card worked. You know what the funniest thing is that's been in so many other, like, movies and book media that, like, when he does and he puts it on, you're like, oh, I know where this is going because I've seen it before. But yet it's not something that you would think of. You're not like, oh, I know, let's use that, unless you're, like, really familiar with that kind of stuff. But not being totally familiar and, like, with that kind of thing, as soon as he did it, I was like, oh, I get it. I know what's happening here. Like, seen it before enough times to know where it's going, but not think, oh, you know what, I bet there's, like, one of those little cards with the holes in it, and then you can read the letter. You're just like, there's some kind of a fucking coded cipher in this, but this is what it is. I figured when he said, like, the words were, it's written weirdly and, like, the words are different, that, like, there's something about the difference in the words. Like, this, well, this is another word for, like, this, and it could be turned, and then, like, you know what I mean? Like, some kind of way we're gonna figure it out, but this is pretty cool. Dante quickly turned to a page to see how the card worked. There's nothing in particular here. That's because Dante turned to the final chapter and placed the card on top of the page. It said something! The words that can be seen through the holes made a sentence. Can you get the book from the church? Just a moment. We used the card to find the hidden messages in both books. Ooh, both books. Their chapters were worded differently, and now we could see that they contained separate messages. This would explain why they were worded so differently. So cool! And give me a moment. I'll need to compare the messages in both books. He carefully turned each page to read what the card revealed. I want to know what the card reveals. Tell me. I see. What does it say? I leaned in involuntarily, and Dante answered me with a hint of excitement. And the book I own contains the first part of the hidden message, and the one at the church contains the second part, and both of them combined create a full message. So what was hidden wouldn't have been clear without both books? What does it say? It revealed the miracle of the relic and the ritual required to break the seal. That's amazing! You did it! He's like, the ritual required to break the seal. Interesting. We know exactly, well, to get our thing back, right? Mm-hmm. It was exactly the information we were looking for. I don't know if it's true, but it says the relic can heal any illness, that it even healed a Roman emperor long ago. Yet we still don't know the relic is Jesus. That emperor offered up land in honor of the miracle, and soon the land came under the church. So, what about the ritual? He's like, For some reason, Dante looked hesitant. This would be the most awkward. What does it say about the ritual? We have to have sex. I'm gonna need to actually see that in the writing in the thing, because I don't trust you. Dante? Could you imagine? It's the 1925 way I get a woman in bed. Well, it says right here in the ritual, in order to resurrect Jesus, we need to have sex. Oh my god, I can't. That is like, wow. This is the original player handbook, huh? Christ. It's so funny. No, the ritual is outlined clearly, but there are a number of things that need to be done before we can break the seal. I see. Well, at least now there's hope. We know what we need to do now. Maybe he should just let us read it for ourselves. He's like, you're too delicate. You're innocent. We shouldn't let you read this. Either that or he's like, I don't want you to read it because it's embarrassing for me. We know how embarrassed he is about the shit, too. Come to think of it, I haven't read the letter that was inside. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Relations! I mean, that's basically... A sneaky guy, aren't you? Oh? I thought you could read me like a book. No, his smile wasn't worth anything to me. Once a traitor, always a traitor. His talent is something to keep an eye on, especially now that he's with us. So why are you really here, Nicola? What do you mean? God, Nicola's gorgeous, I love him. You must be far too busy to bother me. If you don't stay with Gilbert, you may lose him again like you did before. As much as I'd like to refute that, you're right. Though he did ask to be alone today. Unbelievable, Gilbert. As if he doesn't understand his position in this town. And yet, you fully understand yours, despite his selfishness. Gilbert is my boss. I don't have the option of saying no to him. You two, I envy your relationship. His smile contained a hint of sorrow that even I could see. I completely forgot about it. What? It's really weird. You know what it is? Because he came back here and I was like, are we at the casino? I did not realize that this was his desk and also the casino background. It just occurred to me because when we just popped back, I was like, why are we at the casino again? Because that's exactly how he was sitting when we... Wow. Like, when we were at the casino, I was in the casino. We're in his office. I'm in his office. But this jump between... Like, we're okay, we're in the office. We go to the meanwhile. We come back. I was like, huh? It's the only time I really paid attention to the background like that. And that switch. Wow, anyway. We opened the letter included in the envelope to see what it said. It says... After reading the letter, we turned to each other. love how they keep keeping it a secret. What does the thing say? Yeah, the ritual, right, What about the letter? Oh my gosh. And then that's it, and you're like, bitch, tell me what it said. It was already late in the evening. Dante and I were at the church again. We drove here to avoid any dangers lying in wait along the way. A number of the Falzone's men were keeping watch over us from afar. In the letter was a short note. Today's date, church, and evening. Nicola wants to see us. Dante, today is Friday, isn't it? Yes. Is there a problem? Not many people come to visit the church on Fridays because of the evening market. But there was one person who always did. And that's... I replied hesitantly. Gilbert Redford. Maybe Nicola wants you to meet with Gil. Or maybe he's accompanying Gilbert there. The short memo wasn't enough to tell what Nicola's intentions were. But he gave you the cipher card, right? And we have no choice but to go there to find out what he wants. You're right. Let's go to the church, Dante. We need to know why Nicola sent us the letter and the card. We opened the doors to the church. We're supposed to get 2 CGs in this, but we haven't gotten a single one. A person was waiting inside alone. Gilbert Redford. There's something, Gilbert Redford, and you're like, that is absolutely a fucking name. Like, but you know what I mean? It's not like just, oh, that's somebody's born name, like where it sounds natural. It absolutely sounds contrived, and you wrote it in a book to be like a special name. His name was Gilbert Redford, and you're like, okay, sure it was. There are just certain names where you're like, that's your stage. You came up with that. You like perfectly crafted that. You were not just born with that name. Like, and yeah. I could tell Dante felt uneasy at seeing him here. Or maybe it was sadness that Nicola was absent. Hey, long time no see. Gil spoke to Dante as if running into an old friend. Are you alone? Yes, you could say I'd rather mourn alone. I don't want my men to see me grieving. Friend? Gil looked at me. He seemed to notice the question I had in mind. You remember the Lao Shu that went berserk in Felche? My friend was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh my god, the men that died? Many people were injured in that incident, and there was one civilian casualty. Is he referring to... I'm sorry, I wasn't able to save your friend. Nah, don't worry about it. You did what you could to try and save him, didn't you? My guys told me what you did back then. Grazie, signorina. You were friends with a civilian from Felce? Being a civilian or being in the Mafia doesn't matter. Neither does where you live. The people of Felce and Creta all moved about the town as they please. Indeed. I can't go to his funeral because I'm Mafia. Being there would just make matters worse. Which is why I figured I'd pray for him now. Aww. Gil chuckled and looked up at one of the stained glass windows. I used to drink with him. He was a rowdy fella for sure, but a fun one. Oh, was he like one of the dudes that we met that had a name but no sprite? I know we're in the business of taking lives, so I expected the same to happen to me. But to see a civilian lose their life like this, it's unforgivable. Gil's voice was calm, but I could tell he was very angry over his friend's death. You're right. We can thrive here as the Mafia because of the civilians. Having them involved in our struggles goes against our reasoning and pride. I'm with you on that. Do you remember what I said back at the casino about not liking to waste my time? Dante nodded silently. That also meant that I don't want my men involved in unnecessary danger. Gil turned toward us again, looking straight at Dante. I have nothing to gain by getting involved, but the Lao Shu broke the rules. If I let them be, Berlone's Mafia will become the laughingstock of the world. His eyes were burning with anger, illuminated by the setting sun. Dante, I want you to reconfirm and accept the conditions of our trade back then, right here and now. If the conflict dragged the Visconti in, we'd work together to take down the Lao Shu. I accept. We have a deal. Grazie. The deal's done. The Visconti will assist the Falzone for the time being. For a second, I was like, the deal where, like, he's gonna give you all of his shit? Like, you can have my land, my territory, my power? Like, what? Bitch, what? And Gilbert's like, nah, fuck that shit. Wouldn't be any fun. The evening bell's about to toll. We'll work out the details another day. And so it happened. We promised to meet again and saw Gil off. So basically kind of what happens in the good ending, except for we see it happen this time versus we didn't see it happen in the good ending. That was surprising. I didn't expect the Visconti to help. This is actually longer than okay, it's not longer than the last part. The last part was an hour and a half, but this is a very long ending. And Gilbert hates liars, which means he can be trusted. Yes, I'm sure things will get better. We have our marshmallow and our cinnamon roll. Not everything had been resolved, but I felt we'd be able to sleep more soundly now. And Nicola's like our feisty little cupcake. Feisty munchkin? I don't know what he is. I don't know yet. Figure it out. It's me, Dante. I was just about to contact you. So, do you have the time to meet? Where? Why not the usual place? Just because we have a pact going doesn't mean we need to meet at each other's manors, right? Tomorrow? That's a bit too soon for me. How about Monday? What do you mean, plan? I'll make the call after you tell me what it's about. I see. Fine, I'm good with that. Interesting. A new week arrived, and with it, the day we would meet with the Visconti. My best boy! I'm sorry, I love the Phantom of the Opera the most, okay? Phantom of the Opera is my boy. I love him. I love him so much. Because he's so mysterious and pretty and fabulous. I'm sorry, but if you walked into a fucking casino and this man greeted you, you'd be like, oh my god, I love you. I would anyway. I'd also be a little intimidated and slightly scared, but, you know, I love him to death. Anyway, welcome, Senor Falzone. Please, this way. He's the only one that gets a special voice. No one else can fit that voice, but it works for him. It wasn't as bad as before, but I could feel the tension in the air. Is it really okay for me to be here? Dante asked me to join, so I accompanied him to the casino. I am so glad we're back at the casino! Okay, the chair was slightly different. It was just the coloring of it. Like the color, like the brownish, goldish, red kind of thing going on. That just, I was like, wait, what? Threw me off. All right, it's a different chair. It's about time. Dante mumbled, looking at his watch. Gil still hadn't arrived. After a short while, the door opened, and an unexpected person walked in. Nicola! I was surprised seeing him here, but Dante appeared unfazed. I'm sorry, but we're having some problems. Gilbert's gonna be a bit late. Nicola turned his back to us as he headed back out the door. Gilbert won't be here for a while. At least not until I'm done talking to you. I asked Gilbert to give us some time to speak before the meeting. So Gilbert deceived me? I love the look on his face like, what? Nicholas sighed in disbelief. He's like, imagine people being shady motherfuckers like that. He then shrugged and turned around to face us. And there's nothing I have to say. Then let me talk. Mind you, what I'm going to say is strictly my own theory. My theory is that you were planning to persuade the Visconti to work with the family all along. Gifting her to the Visconti was to open up the path to negotiation. Isn't that optimistic of you, to think I did everything for the Falzone? My theory's supported by your letter. I'll get to the card later. The letter was sent to me so that Gilbert and I would meet. You knew she could understand the intention behind the date and time. After hearing Dante's thoughts, Nicola let out a sigh. That's the Dante I know, all right. One thing I don't understand is why. Your betrayal was part of your plan to help the family. But you could have done similarly without leaving us. The risks involved with the course you took was high. So then, why? Nicola's like, I mean, I was covering my ass. So, like, if you went down, I at least had another place to go. And if you didn't go down, it's like, I was totally yeah! One foot in both sides. You've gotten it wrong. Nicola looked calm, but I could tell he was a bit irritated. Protecting the Falzone isn't enough. I don't believe in this relic nonsense. The Falzone blood is shackled to a fairy tale. Our mission's more of a curse than anything. Protect the relic? Risk your life over some unknown object that may not even exist? What stupidity. This town doesn't need this so-called relic. Without the relic, we'd lose support from the church. This town would go to ruins. You're saying it can't stay prosperous as it is now? So be it. The Mafia is no longer needed in this generation. Nicola! With Mussolini at the helm, our place in the Mafia will only bring trouble. Nothing will change whether we're around or not. Nicola's eyes burned with anger. But his anger isn't directed at Dante or me. His anger was probably directed at... The citizens may suffer. After all, the Mafia is the source of the town's bounties. Berlin was thriving and reliant on the security we provided. Even so... You read the newspaper, didn't you, Dante? Did you hear what the people had to say? Yes. I can't believe how easily they turned their back on the Falzone. I'm sure it'd be fine if we turned our backs on them, too. Keeping a tradition and fulfilling your mission, that's all in the past now. Dante, you have the right to live as freely as you want, and now you have all the cards in your hands to make that happen. Nicola's face finally showed the extreme hatred he felt towards the family's mission. Nicola, you want to set Dante free? Yes. May I ask why? Because he loves him! I said it already. It's ridiculous being shackled to the family's mission like this. If you don't wish to be shackled, why don't you simply leave the town? Nicola wasn't answering my question. Could it be that Nicola feels his own mission is to free Dante? I'm assuming it's Gilbert, you know. I don't think Direttore would work. I can't say his name otherwise without throwing an accent in there, because Direttore? Like, you can't. It's Direttore, like, because he's the director. Like, Direttore. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm going with it. And you can't say it without some flair in it. It's not like Gil or Gilbert. You don't have to be like Dante. You know, it's Dante. Like, it's fine. But, like, you can't say Direttore without having some kind of accent in it. It's physically impossible to say as, like, an American without, again, throwing some accent in. Nicola, you can say. You know, like, Gil. You're here earlier than I thought. Well, you and Nicola aren't the most easygoing guys, are you? I figured things wouldn't go well. I felt sorry for the young lady needing to endure it, so here I am. Fucking Gil. Gilbert, this is my problem. There's no need for you to interfere. As a reminder, I am your boss. Now shut up. Having been raised in the Mafia, Nicola grudgingly backed off as ordered. Gil then looked at us and began speaking in a calm tone. Nicola agreed to betray you as long as we didn't kill you, Dante. He asked that the worst we do to you is expel you from this town. Dante held his breath in silence, and it's kind of like, but it's like Nicola's deciding Dante's life for him. It's not like Nicola's like, look, you just need to let go of the stupid relic bullshit business, like whatever. He's like, so I'm gonna like con him, blah, 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 so that like he gets kicked down and loses everything, and then he'll be, what, better off? This man has been raised in the Mafia, this is his whole life, and you're just like, nah, figure it out. What? That's like an animal in captivity, raised in captivity its whole life. Let me throw you in the wild, figure it out. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Like, he's just gonna be running around outside the town let me back in. I don't know what to do. You're gonna find his crumpled remains, like, right outside the fucking gates of town, like, where you kicked him out. Like, it's not gonna work. Conflict between two families can only end with one of their heads is lopped off. When one of their heads, sorry. You, me, Yang. If we all went for it, only one of us would remain standing. Dante finally understood why Nicola betrayed him. Nicola's betrayal. It was all for me. I'm sorry, Nicola. Apologizing isn't gonna do anything. Nicola answered abruptly. His mood took a turn for the worse ever since Gil walked in. Because Dante was probably nicer to him than Gil is. Dante treats him like a brother and a friend. Sure, you work for me, but you're my brother and you're my friend, and I know they're cousins, but like whatever. And Gil's like, you just worked for me! Shut up! I appreciate your concerns, but my mission is my duty, and something I would never abandon even if I was free. I can't live as freely as you want me to. I'd probably return to my old ways. That's exactly why I wanted to free you. It was important, because you're like a younger brother to me. Oh, so Nicola's older. Okay, now we know. Well, I suppose I can't change your ways. I may need to accept reality. If you aren't going to let go of your mission, so be it. Just know that I didn't betray you or the family because of hatred, so I'd appreciate it if you accepted my help. Accepted. Thank goodness. But is Nicola coming back? I hope. Gilbert's like, please take him back. He's a pain in my ass. Dante was in so much pain from Nicola's betrayal. I was happy that they were able to reconcile. He's still a little shady, but I love him. Look, even before we knew his shady was all for Dante, I still loved him. Dante spoke with Gil about the relic and how the Falzone was involved. A good part of the information was already well known, but Gil still looked surprised. He had a skeptical look on his face as he listened to Dante in silence. We were planning on obtaining the relic so we could use it in negotiations with the church. With Nicola's help, we now know how to break the seal, but... Dante didn't finish his sentence. It seemed he wasn't fond of the concept of gaining the relic. Come to think of it, where did you get that card, Nicola? I thought this earlier too, but what card? All I gave was the date and time that Gilbert was going to the church. Huh? Oh, it was Orlock. I was wondering how we got it too, and it didn't even occur to me that Orlock did it. She's referring to the carton grill. Whatever. You didn't send that to us? Carton grill? As in the decoder? That certainly wasn't me. Confusion spread to everyone in the room. What's going on here? Dante mumbled with a frown on his face. Gil spoke, because Orlock was given it by Emilio, probably. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but why don't we get back on topic? Dante, you sound like you're not keen on using the relic to negotiate with the church. Why is that? A relic is an object of faith. I'd rather not use it in worldly matters. This relic is to be hidden, and that's the reason it's been kept secret all this time. And that's precisely the reason you can use it, no? It was the only means of success I could imagine before, but things have changed since then. If the Visconti will help us, then there are other ways we can face the church and the Lao Shu without relying on the relic. If there are other ways, then it's best we not use it at all. So I wonder if you go down the good ending first. If you fell down this one, you wouldn't know what the relic is. You wouldn't know, right? I'm not sure I agree with you on that. You have something that would guarantee you results. Even so. Gil and Dante were going back and forth on the subject for a while. Gil then let out a sigh of disbelief. Ugh, fine. If that's your decision as boss, so be it. Now, I'm gonna need something from you. We're not doing this for free, you know. What is it? I want you to let us work with the... Why don't you let us work... Monreal? Monreal family in Sicily. Gilbert, that's far too much... Nicola raised his voice, but Dante waved a hand to calm him down. I'll agree to that. Gil had a smile of satisfaction on his face. Now that that's done, how about we discuss ways to get rid of them rats? The long meeting drew to a close. We were back at the Falzone Manor. Everyone had come to a decision that action would need to be taken as soon as possible. The Lao Shu was weakened at the present moment, but they had more men overseas. It wouldn't be a stretch to imagine they would ship more of their men here. Something like that would only extend the conflict. And so, we decided. We would make our move tomorrow. The final decision was made before we all left the casino. Welcome back. You must be tired. This should help warm you up. Thank you. She served me a steaming cup of chocolate calda. Hot chocolate. I was like, chocolate. I had to read that. There's a lot of C's in that word. And O's. It's delicious. I feel so much better. Thank you. I
I don't see things calming down tonight. You should rest while you still can.
Agreed. It was late at night, but the men were all running around in preparation of the big day. There were men from the Visconti here to help as well. Julia?
Yes?
I'm sure something good will happen soon.
Oh, I wonder what that'll be. I'm looking forward to it.
Nicola wasn't here yet, but he finally got back together with Dante. He should be here soon. He finally got back together with Dante. It's like I'm so happy they made up. They were on a break. I couldn't imagine how happy Julia would be when she saw him return. Most of Dante's men aren't even aware that Nicola betrayed the family. It shouldn't take very long for him to rejoin the group. But some did know about his betrayal. Secret. The Visconti and the Falzone have joined forces. I see. Aren't you worried, Yang? We don't have the manpower to face them. What's with the church? What happened to the deal with Roseburg? He wants out. What? Calm down. Looks like this plot was found out by the higher orders of the church. Emilio! Emilio is like fucking God in the church. I swear to God. Like, what is he? Emilio's like, are you does the Pope answer to you, Emilio? Like, what the fuck is your deal? Like, I don't even know, but the upper echelons of the church, and there's Emilio strolling in he just knows shit that most people don't. I mean, and I don't believe for a second it's because I was passed down, you're, the Falzone family's supposed to protect the relic, and, my family's supposed to watch out for you. It's like Emilio's 1,000 fucking years old. In this, 10-year-old body. So he looks so, everyone's like, oh, he's sweet and innocent, and he's like a fucking puppet master himself. I love him, though, but, he's going to lose his position soon, which means he'll be useless to us. Kind of what we saw in the good ending, right? I mean, the best ending. That just means things will go south. What are you going to do about it, Yang? Those accursed Falzone got rid of a good number of our men already. Yes, we did retaliate and kill some of the Falzone. But without the church, there's no way we can face them in the Visconti. I said calm down. I already called for reinforcements. A ship should arrive in Berlin tonight. We can handle this without the church. Being at a slight disadvantage is going to make things a bit more entertaining. I feel like if you took out every single fucking person in the Lao Shu and Yang was the only one left, and you had 2 other mafia families coming after him, he'd be like, woohoo, it's a party! He wouldn't be intimidated in the slightest, because he's not now, but it's also yeah, this'll be more entertaining, we got backup coming, but he's more all of them versus me. I'll do this, motherfucker. He crazy. Props to him, though. Unbelievable. I don't care whether I die or not. I care less about the Lu Huang Hu? I don't know, anyway. And church. I think the H is more like an F, right? Sound? Anyway, I don't know. I'm fine as long as I can have fun. I could say Lao Shu, I can't say the rest of that, so. But some did know about his betrayal. They would need to hear an explanation before Nicola returned. The Visconti's men know that Nicola's been staying at their manor. The Visconti and the Falzone, the fact that a pact was formed wasn't known to the men yet, so Dante suggested that Nicola stay where he was until things were settled. It's now we have a secret we can't tell anyone. It had been a while since I returned, but it felt nice being able to rest here again. It somehow feels very nostalgic. I prepared to go to sleep when suddenly I heard scratching outside of the door. Carlo! It must be Carlo. I opened the door slightly, and Carlo immediately slipped through the open crack. Welcome back, Carlo. It's time for bed. I took Carlo into my arms and sat down on the soft bed. Still, my real home is... I rubbed Carlo's back and remembered the days I spent back at the church. I did return a short while back to see how everyone was doing. That sounds awkward, but I did return a short while back. Okay. Maybe that's why I'm only remembering the good things back at church. Now, my heart felt no sorrow. The knock at the door made Carlo jump from my arms and under the bed. I walked to the door to see who was there. Who is it? It's me. Dante? Wait, do we get the sexy scene again in this? We still haven't gotten any CGs. Surprised, I opened the door. He's blushing. He's blushing. Huh? He immediately looked away from me, and I was confused for a short while as to why. I then looked at myself and remembered that I was wearing a negligee. She's wearing a sexy little slip. I'm so sorry. Just a moment. I like a negligee. When we say that now, it's more like, oh, but not like, your slip that you're sleeping in or whatever. You're like, it sounds more like you're wearing the sexy, lacy underwear, but that's, I quickly grabbed a gown to wear. I'm sorry about that. What brings you here at this hour, Dante? Will you come in? No, I can't enter a lady's room at this time of night. So cute and old-fashioned. Huh? Dante's reluctance took me by surprise. Boy, the chuckle. Well, you do remember that we lived together a while at the hideout and hotel, right? And that was because I didn't have a choice. It's kind of cute, because in this route we didn't get boinked, so, then he, and then now he's like, I can't come into your room, that'd be awkward. Seeing him try to hide his embarrassment with an angry voice made me chuckle again, and I think it's even cuter that he's awkward about it. Not like he's like, I'm gonna come in, and she's like, oh my god, it's so... He's the one who's like, I can't come into your room, that's awkward, and she's like, look at you being a nerd. Like the fact that she's giggling at him and his embarrassment. Serious as usual, I suppose. I'm sure he'd be angry if he knew what I thought of him in this moment. That he's cute. It's late, and we'd just be disturbing the others. Talking out in the hall like this. I certainly wouldn't let anyone come into my room like this. It's only because it's you, Dante. We've already confessed our love to each other. Dante was really hesitant, but finally gave in and stepped forward reluctantly. I just love how he's awkward. It's cute. So, I'm assuming this is urgent? Yes. Please. I offered him a chair, but it looked like he had already curled himself on it. It'd probably be best that I not bother him if he was about to fall asleep. Why don't you take a seat on the bed? Dante stopped for a moment, but soon sat himself down on the bed. Wait, was she talking about Carlo? I feel like I offered him a chair, but it looked like he had already curled himself. I feel like it's supposed to be I offered Dante a chair, but Carlo had already curled himself on it. It'd probably be best if I not bother him as he was about to fall asleep. Then we go, why don't you take a seat? Because that makes no sense otherwise. Like, Dante, I would give you a chair. Oh, and Dante's already curled up in a chair. I mean, humans can curl up in a chair, and part of me was like, I mean, okay, I shouldn't be like, our boyfriend just curled up in a chair, and that's a little, like, a strange way to work, but okay, sure. It's kind of cute that he's gonna curl up in a chair, and he's about to fall asleep, and then we're like, why don't you sit on the bed? So, he is Carlo. But I have a feeling whoever translated it didn't remember, like, I was gonna offer him his chair, but Carlo already curled up on it, and they were like, oh, well, you wouldn't say, like, in English, you don't constantly say the person's name. You use he, she, they, right? You know what I mean? So they were like, oh, he, instead of Carlo, but not realizing that Carlo's the fucking cat. I feel like that happens sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, they don't realize, because they're just translating the lines. So I was going to offer him a chair, or they were just like, I was going to offer Dante a chair, but Carlo was already curled in. They're like, oh, he. Like, you should at least know the characters' names when you're translating, you know what I mean? I mean, I know I forget sometimes, but, like, you'd be like, Carlo? Oh, right, the cat. You should know the main characters. You know what I mean? Dante. Carlo is not Dante. Anyway, so Carlo was curled in the chair. We helped Dante to sit on the bed. I sat next to him to hear what he had to say. We're going to go over. We're already over, but we'll get this scene done. I'm sorry for disturbing you so late, but I needed to speak with you now. It's about the ritual to break the seal, and that's why I thought you were showing up. Dante refused to go into detail about it before. Gil had his suspicions, but I too thought it was strange he didn't delve into the subject. He would so awkward he wouldn't walk into your room. He's gonna be like, I have to have sex with you? It's gonna be weird. Does this have something to do with why you don't want to use the relic? Our blood is needed to break the seal, but in addition to that, the head of the Falzone family and the Key Maiden need to be unified. You don't mean...
He's blushing and so cute. I love it.
You were the Key Maiden, which is why you were involved in so much danger. I love you, which is why I want to put you first, ahead of everything. That's also why I didn't want us to use you like a tool to get to the relic, even if it meant I was being selfish. He's like, and I want to be unified with you, don't get me wrong, but like, oh, let's do it for those purposes, and that's awkward. You'd be like, well, I love you, and I just feel like it should happen naturally, and not like, well, I guess we have to. So, Dante chose not to use the relic for my sake? And see, in the better ending, he still was gonna use the relic, but we had already done the deed just for funsies without even knowing that's what it was. Now that we know that's what you have to do, it's like, oh, well, sure, that sounds like a grand old time, but then it also feels like that should be a nice, intimate thing that we share and not like, well, okay, I guess it's business. You know what I mean? I felt sorry for being a hindrance to Dante, but at the same time, I felt happiness. Really? For me? His thoughts were warming me from the inside. She knocks him down and takes control. I would love that. So, that's the sign of the Key Maiden. Dante looked toward my chest. Dante! I hurriedly covered my mark with my gown, then closed my eyes. I suppose... But to me, it's just a blemish. It wasn't something to show off. I felt uncomfortable knowing Dante could see it. Dante silently moved away my hand that was covering the mark. His fingertips slowly traced over it. These parts are really long. The sudden movement in his cold fingers made me shiver. Here's the CG. I tried to hold him back, but he grabbed my hand and... Oh! Dante! Dante? He gently kissed my mark. This is in the good ending, not the best ending. This is the raciest CG we've had. Hello. With his warm lips against my skin, I felt myself tremble in a different way, I bet. I meekly tried to resist, but his arms were strong as he held me down. I mean, this one's got some saucy CGs, I'm not gonna lie, like, damn. I wasn't sure how much time had passed. He soon lifted his face from my chest. This mark is a sign that connects us. Space, and this is proof that you belong to me. I mean, I guess technically. And normally you'd be like, whoa, it's actually kind of sexy when you say it. I'm okay with this. His warm breath gently tickled my skin with each word he spoke, and yet... Gilbert's route is... And that's why... Look, Dante always seemed like the poster boy, like he's the canon boy. And he still seems in this route, he's the canon boy. You know? And yet... He's not the last route. It's so weird. I'm not attracted to you because of my mission. Your being the Key Maiden and my being a Falzone doesn't matter. I'm attracted to you because of who you are. His words were as warm and soft as the gentle pressure of his lips on mine. The heat went deeply into my heart and spread through my body. Hey, hey. The Falzone and Visconti won't lose tomorrow. But when the dust settles, there's no telling whether or not I'll still be alive. In the bad ending, probably not. Dante! It's the same with Gilbert and Nicola. We share the same feelings about it. We aren't allowed to die, but still we had never thought about fearing death itself. But now, I don't want to die. And it's all because of you. I squeezed Dante's hand tight. I looked deep into his azure eyes and let him know my feelings. Dante, you will come back alive. I believe in you. I promise I'll come back alive. I gently smiled at Dante as I prayed deep inside for his well-being. I will pray for him to return safely. I'll pray for him forever. Okay, I just wanted to see. We'll start with the... Shh, don't look at this. Rewind. Okay. Just because we're getting... I just wanted to make sure. I think that was the last... Whoops. We will go and start in the Meanwhile story in the next part, because we're like way over, and we're definitely, this is the last Meanwhile story for ending, but there's no way we were going to get the ending in this part unless we go another hour and a half. And like, dude, no, we shouldn't have done that in the last part. I should have cut it, done that, and then, but it is what it is, and we had a super long ending, and that's fine. But this part needs to end here. We will continue our good ending, probably get the good ending in the next part, and then start the bad endings, and maybe that's it. But like, damn, they give you a lot of stuff for an end, for the just the good, quote unquote, normal ending. They give you so much, so I appreciate that. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.